Welcome back to the training tape series. This is training tape number 2 for the Minnesota State High School League. I'm Jason Nickleby, coordinator of officials. Remember, these clips are meant as a training opportunity and not meant to pick on any one official or team. Hopefully you find these plays useful as you pregame and get ready for your next few games. And hope the new year is off to a good start. With that, let's get to the plays. On this first play, we're just going to take a look at the general mechanics of the crew. We have a shot attempt, then another kick out, another shot attempt. Notice the C takes 2 steps down, closes down. Very nice job there. Let's just make sure as the C or as a trail and a 2-person that once we close down, let's watch the rebounding action as the C does here, but let's not bail out on the made basket. Make sure we're there to help the trail. Once there's a one-on-one matchup, we can let the trail take that, and then we can move down the floor and help. Good job here. I wanted to show this play because I think it's an excellent example of what 3-person mechanics is supposed to look like. The trail is not too high, lets the players play out top, but stays low. They're going to come back down to you. The C is watching off ball, not looking at the ball handler at all. The lead is flexing and mirroring the ball, so they are right where the ball is. And then he closes down when there's the play in the paint. And then finally with that last block, the C trusts their partner to make that call or non-call. So just excellent flow. It was a perfect example of 3-person mechanics and where we should be looking and where we should be standing, and it really turned out well on film. Great job by the crew. On this play, we're going to have an entry pass into the right elbow, and the ball handler is going to take the ball to the basket. And there's going to be some contact, but it's pretty much created by the offensive player. I really like the no call here by the lead. That defensive player maintains their legal guarding position, and we don't have a travel on that play. She starts to dribble before picking up the pivot foot. So just overall, real nice no call and good officiating. On this play, we'll have a transition play, and all the officials are in good position to rule, but you'll see that the ball is deflected out near the elbow and goes out of bounds opposite the lead, who doesn't have a good look at it. So he pretty obviously asks for help, puts his hand in the air, and looks at the C, who offers help. If the lead doesn't see it, be a little bit more definitive. Put your arms straight out in either direction and give them a direction. If you want to be discreet, you can put it in front of your stomach or chest and offer a point that way. But usually it's just better to be more definitive and give that lead that information. But this is a good example of asking for help and giving a good response. I wanted to use this play as a general example of mechanics, primary coverage area, and trusting our partner. If you notice in this play, the ball rotates over from trail side into the C's primary coverage, who goes up with the 3-point attempt and signals it good. At this point, the trail should be transitioning to rebounding in his primary coverage area. The C has the shooter all the way up and all the way down. We don't need 2 sets of eyes looking at the shooter at this point. That would leave our lead officiating 8 other players. We should really concentrate on our area. More often than not, we are incorrect if we reach into another official's area. Now, there are gray areas where one official or another could have it. We should really pregame those so we don't have double whistles as much. We should really limit those. But really concentrate on your primary. You should be strong in your primary, slow in your secondary. And that just means trusting your partner to make the calls that need to be made in their area instead of feeling like you know better than they do. So just trust your partners to do what they need to do. You'll be in really good shape if you do that. In this play, the dribbler number 23 will come off of a ball screen at the top of the key and will subsequently be tripped by defensive player number 13. And I think we have a proper blocking foul called by the C here. If you look at Rule 472 on page 29 of the rule book, it talks about maintaining legal guarding position. And if the player with the ball gets his or her head and shoulders past the torso of the defensive player and we have contact like we do here that puts her on the ground, in this case, you would have a defensive blocking foul. Now, mechanically, the trail still has this ball handler, but the C should help with the screening. So it's really a two official play, and the C can help on this. But we'll want to give trail first crack since they have the ball handler, but ultimately the right call is made with a defensive blocking foul. I wanted to use this play as an example of last second shot mechanics. This is something we should really pregame, talk about who should take what and where, and firm on all those details before it happens, because once it happens during a game we're not ready for it, it can really bite us. So we'll want to make sure that the new lead is going to be looking at the clock, making sure that it starts or stops or continues to run, whatever the case may be. We'll want to make sure that C or trail opposite has last second shot primary responsibility. Obviously the other officials can help as well, but the C or trail opposite should be the primary covering official. And then we should talk about what we should do if we go back in transition, if there's a turnover, if we flex, are we going to lock down or not? I would recommend that we try to get C opposite, and if the lead wants to go back and forth, they can, and then if we go back in transition, they can just fill in going back the other way. But ultimately, as a crew, just make sure we're on the same page. We talk about who has what, make sure the clock is taken care of, and make sure we know who's going to rule on a shot that is at or near the expiration of the clock. So, nice job by the crew in this game. Some good examples of three-person officiating that was well done, and just really proud of their efforts in this game. And hopefully your games are going well so far, and we'll talk to you in a few weeks.